American Dad coming back for season 17 on Monday, January 24th. We have Rachael MacFarlane and D. Bradley Baker here. Both of all, congratulations for season 17, but also congratulations, you guys got renewed for season 18 and 19 as well.
Yes.
How did that happen? My God, people coming back from
it was a terrible mistake. They meant to cancel the show, but they didn't. And here we go. We have to keep making it.
Now you got Rachael, what can you tease as far as what we're going to see in the beginning of season 17?
It's such a fantastic season. I mean, 17 seasons later, and I honestly think that this is one of our best. It's so out there and crazy and wacky and zany in the way that only American Dad can do. And our writers just keep bringing back amazingly funny and fresh material. And I think that we're going to see a lot more Jeff Fisher, which is great, my animated husband, and a lot more crazy adventures with our marriage living with my parents, which, as everybody knows, is just such a great idea for a married couple.
Oh, exactly.
And you get to see a German children's show brought to life. That's important, too. That's a fun one.
Let's talk about the character of Klaus. Where did the voice originally come from, especially like perfecting it for the show? Was it an inspiration as far as like a fish, like what you dreamed of a fish could sound like, or where was the inspiration for that voice?
I find I studied German in college, and I find the German language hilarious. It's when I was in Germany, there was like one stand-up in the entire country. But I found it very, very funny. And so when I auditioned for the role, which was written for a French fish, I auditioned it as a German fish because I thought that was the funniest way to do it. And happily they agreed with me. So it's really fun to add this really oddball character with a German accent, which you really don't see that much.
Rachael, let's talk a little bit about growing up with Seth. What was that experience like, especially maybe in your younger years, your mom being an inspiration for the humor that you both had gotten? Like, talk a little bit about that and how you ultimately became friends and, coworkers.
Yes. I mean, it's funny. Yes. I mean, you're 100% right. Our mother was absolutely the humor inspiration, I think, for all of this that we do. But Seth was always pointed in this direction. I have a very clear memory of having some friends over in 8th grade for a little dance in our backyard, and we're on the deck, and Seth wanted to be the DJ. And so, it was playing Rick Astley and Samantha Fox and all the music of the time. And then all of a sudden, this recording of him as Reagan being interviewed, well, let me tell you. And I was like, what the hell is this? And my friends are all like, what are we listening to? And I'm like, oh my God, it's my brother. He's, playing one of his voiceover tapes. And, so he embarrassed me for a while until I got older. And then we became friends and coworkers. And now we've been working together for the better part of 20 years on Family Guy, American Dad, The Orville for the last few seasons too. And it's incredibly gratifying to have that kind of, professional relationship with my sibling as an adult. I feel really lucky that we get to work together all the time. It's great.
I wonder how many of your friends from those grade school parties were in the middle of dancing to Never Gonna Give You Up and now have this wonderful story of, I was the first person to hear Seth MacFarlane's voices.
Exactly. I mean, we come from a really small town in Connecticut, so I guarantee you that, yes, people are telling those stories.
People are telling those stories. And speaking of stories, Dee, I want to go ahead and ask you, as far as like holiday get-togethers and when you're out with your friends, I mean, you have a huge list of voices that you've done that people know you from, American Dad, Space Jam, SpongeBob, Dora, Jungle Book, all the Star Wars projects. I mean, do you just do voices constantly for people, or do people kind of wait until that point where maybe they're 2 drinks in where they're like, can you please do this for me?
I'm always happy to show off because I'm more show off than anything. But like around my household, it's talk normal, daddy was what one of my oldest told me when I tried to read her a book in different voices. So my family doesn't so much want to hear the crazy voices, but it's this fun little, it's like this magic trick that you can pull out of your pocket and perform anytime. And people are just like, their jaws drop when you do the voice or you do the sound or the creature or the monster. And so it's like this secret superpower that you carry around with you that you can, if you choose, bring that out and freak people out and delight them maybe. And but then put it back away and you can go back to your normal life.
Meeting one of the kids, new friends, you can bring out the voices making reservations at a restaurant. That's one of those times that it's going to surprise people, and you never know what their reaction is going to be.
I can do that. I can mortify my family. I generally choose not to because the cost to that to me personally is too much. So I don't with my family. But I tell you what's fun is if a telemarketer calls you, you actually have a free space to use any voice that you want when you're talking or engaging with a telemarketer. So that can be a fun little improvisational game if you want to try it. Just try a voice, try a character.
Great little tidbit. If you want to work on your voiceover routine, pick up the phone when it's calls.
Pick up the note, when there's no caller ID.
Potential spam? Yes.
Yes. Here's an opportunity.
And the final thing, Rachael, here for you. What does it mean to have the show? I'm sure you get a lot of messages on social media, especially during these like hard times, that people can laugh together as a family.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I have to say I'm fairly active on social media, primarily Instagram. And one of the most gratifying things whenever I post about a new season or something that we're doing on either Family Guy or American Dad, I just get a string of responses of people saying, this show got me through such a hard time. This is the show I fall asleep to every night. This is the show that brings me comfort. I can't tell you, what your shows have done for me over the years. And that it means the world to us. I mean, it's the fact that what we do, what we are so privileged to do for a career, brings people some levity and some, a moment of joy, especially in the last couple of years, is incredible. I mean, it's really just the icing on the cake and the cherry on top of this amazing career that both Dee and I, kind of stumbled into, I think.
No, we can't wait to go ahead and see you. Season 17 premiering January 24th. American Dad on TBS. Rachael and Dee, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks, Rudy. Nice to talk to you.
It was our pleasure. Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen. Thank you. Bye-bye.